and the benefits of the research program, uh, all the details and everything. You'll get a lot of information from this. Okay. Okay. So who is this program not for? If you're waiting for, looking for shortcuts, this is not the place. I know you guys are all super hardworking, but if you feel like your child doesn't have to put in that work, it's not going to work. Okay. And you expect substandard, like low quality research papers to be published. That's not how this works. And you're seeking a deal, then this is not the place for you. Professors are super expensive. Creating the program takes a lot of time and effort. I have to hire consultants who get the best resource for me in terms of professors and everything. And getting them to sign up to teach high school students is quite a challenge. I've got over 50 profiles that I get sent, but to hear from them that no, this is not their cup of tea, right? So it's extremely hard to build a program. A lot of people don't see that, and I just wanted to share that with you. Okay, so the question is, why should a student conduct research in high school? Like, why is it even important? How do colleges look at this, right? So that's an important question that we're trying to answer here. Basically, colleges are looking for atypical extracurricular activity, an activity that shows like rare talent, some kind of activism, some kind of passion. Okay, they don't want cookie cutter profiles. Somebody whose profile is bold, right? So that's very important. An atypical extracurricular activity, not something that's very common. Don't pick extracurricular activities that everybody in your school joins. Nah, my neighbor was telling me my son also went to the TSA club, and they told me that there were like over 1,000 people in that extracurricular activity. Imagine having that in 1,000 students in the extracurricular activity. How is that going to make your child stand out, right? So I always tell my parents, like, hey, pick an extracurricular activity that nobody joins. Okay, there's nothing wrong in that. You. That is what makes you unique, right? And of course, passion projects. Colleges look for passion project, and research is considered a passion project, right? Because they're looking for self-directed and self-motivated activity outside of the classroom curriculum. I mean, just sticking onto the clubs and everything, they are, in my point of view, a low grade activity. We have many tiers that we have, and joining clubs and everything, they're like lowest tier. It's not like you shouldn't do it, but it's not something that will get you to like really highly selective schools like Stanford and everything. Okay, so that's very important. And this is the cincher when it comes to Stanford and other highly selective colleges. They want students to demonstrate a rare intellectual quality. That's it. They want students to use their brain cells, or like sort of invent or create or spend significant amount of time in that activity. Okay, so conducting an in-depth research on a complex topic, right, with a university professor, it's important. Presenting in a conference, international recognition, these are some things that really put your activity into the stratosphere, like right there, up there. Okay, so research is one of the extracurricular activities that sort of fits into all these criteria. Then you have specialization in an area. Colleges like to see students specializing, right? In terms of internships, specialized projects, becoming subject matter experts. I get often asked, where can my child find internships, right? But the thing is, are they really qualified to get those quality sorry, internships, right? I mean, you can't expect a student to get into a business and expect the business person to like babysit them, right? It's internship is like a real job. So just like you guys in the corporate world hire people, like businesses are also looking to hire high school students who comes with a certain characteristic and talent that they can easily use in their business, right? So that is why research is super important. Okay, I just want to share our research success. And I just over 200 students have gone through our program. They've gotten into all these colleges. My student who did research on AI in biomed, she got into an internship in MIT using the research that she did here, and then she landed in Stanford. I have students who've gotten into Johns Hopkins full tuition, UC Berkeley, Cornell, Carnegie Mellon, NYU, UNC, Case Western. My student just got into Case Western with 37K scholarship, Hofstra with 37K scholarship, Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech, everywhere. Okay, so my students have really, really leveraged the experience and showcased it in their profile to get scholarships, not just acceptances, but scholarships. Okay, so how did this whole program start? Right, I have to tell you this origin story because it's deeply personal. Okay, in the sense that I failed. I literally failed. I felt I failed as a parent. I mean, it's not right. I was being very hard on yourself, and even you people are like that, saying, "Oh my God, I was not able to get an opportunity with my child or whatever." You blame yourself. I did that as well. My oldest son couldn't. He was like so crazy passionate about cryptocurrency that he did not have an opportunity to work with a university professor to publish his research paper. He did AP seminar, he did AP research, and all that in school, but he really didn't publish his research paper in a journal. He got invited in many places to speak about cryptocurrency. This kid was so crazy. He got a Bitcoin ATM machine from Russia and spray painted it orange. Right. So that was his passion. And I couldn't find a program at that time. This was like significantly earlier, before the pandemic, way, way, way before the pandemic. And I was obsessed with finding a solution for my students. The pandemic hit, and I was like, shit, I couldn't do this for my son. I've got to do this for the other students. So I begged my cousin, who's a dean in Wright State University. No, she's the head of the department in Wright State University, Dr. Subhashini Ganapati. She's my younger sister, my cousin. And I said, hey, can we just create this program? She's like, no, I've got a lot of grants. I'm very busy. I'm like, I just literally begged her. I'm like, please, just this once, just this once. And she created the complete framework for the research program. And we had the first set of students, 13 students who went through that. And it was an amazing, amazing experience. But the bad news was she came back telling me that she couldn't continue with the program because she was very, very busy. And being the head of the department and her deliverables, it didn't make it. But we had the framework and we continued with other professors. So that was the genesis of the research program, which has been a wonderful, wonderful ride. It just transformed my life and even my students. Okay, so our research results here as a list of why is this working? So, I mean, you will be able to see it on our website that we have a complete list of students who have published their research paper. We have more and more students whom we have to update it. If you see here, they went ahead and they were successful in publishing their research paper. This is Shivani. A lot of students have had very good success under our mentorship and guidance in publishing their research paper, and they've been able to use this link in their resume for colleges. Okay, so that's how well the program has worked. Okay, and yeah, my fascination for research to make it like a medium for the college profile. I mean, it really worked. Our innovative, unique, results-driven research program has helped and enhanced our students' chances at getting into not just highly selective colleges, but also a lot of scholarships. And that is like the single most cincher that we've been seeing in the college admission process. Okay. And I just want to tell you that a lot of people go through this analysis paralysis. They are like trying to look at it at a microscopic view, thinking about a lot of things. I just want to tell you, stop with that and embrace the proven formula. And my dream is to offer a buffet a buffet for my students. Are you interested in neuroscience? We have an expert for you. Cancer, we have an expert for you. Immunology and infectious diseases, we have an expert for you. Nanoscience, nanoparticles and its impact in biomed, we have an expert for you. We're still looking for other professors in AI. That's something that we've not been able to find a professor. We're still working very, very hard. It's not the lack of trying, it's just so hard to get the best people to come and mentor high school students, right? So that's what it is. Any questions, please chat away. I will address them. Please chat away and I'll address them. Okay, so next is, I'm just going to explain to you how to conduct research. Okay, how do you conduct research? I mean, we have a whole curriculum, but I'm just going to give you an overview about how a research is conducted. Okay, and basically how to write a research paper. It's number one, identifying a problem, which is a research topic. Our students work with the experts. They either have a topic for themselves, or if they don't know, they are guided towards that. Of late, our curriculum has changed a bit, where they don't even pick their topic for the first 3 sessions. They learn deeply about it. And even if they want to change their topic, it's perfectly fine. I always tell my students, just try to understand what is part of the field and the area. Picking a topic comes later, right? You need to have the right information to get to it, right? And I'm going to explain everything. Right. And also we guide students. What is that one thing that's burning inside you, a burning question that you want to answer? We help with that. Is it a personal issue? And in terms of my student whose brother was autistic, and she wanted to find the effect of essential oil, whether it's really helps calming autistic kids. So that's how it is, identifying a problem. We are all problem solvers, and we teach our students to figure out a problem that they want to solve, and they solve their problem through their research. Got it? Next is conducting preliminary research with an expert guidance. And I just want to tell you that your child has to work with a PhD or a university professor. If they are doing it with a PhD grad, or I'm sorry, PhD aspirant, then it's a blog. Please, let me be honest with you, you will not be able to publish your research paper without having a professor guiding over it, like an expert faculty in that field, right? And colleges also look for that. We mentioned the professor's name in the application. They don't mention gifted gabber, it's not needed because you have worked with the professor, and that's what they show. They work deeply on that topic. And the way we have done it, and I'm going to show it, is we've split the writing with the learning. There are 2 sessions, one with the research professor, where they learn deeply about the topic, and there's a creative writing expert who helps them frame and write the paper accurately without like chat GPT written thing. We even teach them how to draw diagrams on BioRender, and create graphs and everything. It's an original work that we help them with that. Okay, developing a hypothesis, of course, that's super important. They work with the professor and the creative writer to develop a hypothesis. Okay, and then writing the paper, right from the introduction to the body, to the conclusion, to the APA citation, in-text citation, everything we teach them, right? And that is the level of depth that they get from our program, which really helps them in getting their paper published, right? We want our paper to be superior, that there are no questions asked or rejections. That's what we are mainly aiming at. And we help students to submit for publishing. That's part of the program, but we cannot guarantee that it'll get published, right? So we want to make sure that I'm very clear with you. We help them, but we cannot influence or influence the publishing part of it. It's very neutral. It's another third-party company that does that. Okay. Any questions so far? Don't you think the research process is much easier than you thought? Let's look at it. What are your thoughts about what you've heard so far? What are your thoughts? Does it make sense? Does it not it make sense? What are your thoughts? Talk to me. What do you think? Anyone? What are your thoughts? If you're here, please type away whatever you think about it. Okay. Next, I'm going to go over our research programs that we have for the spring. We have four experts. We have cybersecurity as well, which we are going to launch shortly because we want to make sure that we offer internships and everything before we launch that program, right? So we have cancer, we have neuroscience. Neuroscience is sold out. We're not taking any more students. It's filled up. Our cancer is about to close out. Biomed nanoscience and infectious diseases, they're still available. I just want to give you the details of our program. It's a 12-week program where they do deep learning with a research expert, and then they write with a creative writer. So they work on it for 12 weeks, and we guide them into writing a paper. And please don't think that research needs to be done or finished in 12 weeks. It's just the beginning, right? And we have set goals to sort of finish writing the paper so that they can submit it for publishing, but they continue with their research even after that. Okay, so who are the professors? We have our cancer expert. He's Dr. Prahalad. He's an expert in cancer biology, and he's a professor in Wayne State University. A batch of fall students just graduated, and you will be able to see their final presentation on our YouTube channel where they present their hypothesis and their thesis defense. He's magnetic, and he just gets down to the very basic levels of teaching students the basics of anatomy and then going on to the cancer. So he's an amazing. We are very lucky to have found him. He takes care of our cancer research. Then we have Dr. Kate. She is mind blowing. The way she teaches high school students is pretty darn amazing. And she's had over 20 years of experience in teaching, mentoring, and writing research papers. And this is completely about infectious diseases. Please don't think that a student has to do research only in cancer or neuroscience. Molecular biology is also an extremely popular field, and anyone who's aspiring to go to BSMD or medical field, this is just perfect for them. Okay, and then we have Dr. Jobin Varkey. He is a professor in neuroscience and University of Southern California, and he teaches neuroscience, neurodegenerative diseases, Alzheimer's, Huntington, everything. He teaches that. Then here is my absolute favorite, Dr. Kate, Christina. She is a nanoscience expert. Nanoscience are microparticles. So she teaches that complete realm and applying it to biomed, environmental engineering, and everything. And she's just amazing. And this topic is so unique. And it really looks good in a student's profile that they've picked a topic that's like not been investigated very popularly. You get it? So that's another thing. Instead of picking a generic topic, picking something that is obscure and trying to bring a solution about it really helps with the student's profile. Got it? So here I want to mention about a creative writer, Professor Virgil. He's an expert, licensed creative writing expert, and he's the one who works with students along with working with the research professor. He helps them in write the paper because we are expecting students to write a 4,000 word research paper, and that doesn't happen overnight. And we worked with students and they've given us feedback where initially we used to make them go through the whole research and then take time to write, and they were like, oh my god, I'm exhausted. You cannot expect us to write a paper in one shot. So over 12 weeks they keep writing different aspects of their research paper. Okay, so just want to give you a recap. How to write a research paper in 5 steps. Number one is identifying the problem or picking the research topic, conducting preliminary research, developing a hypothesis, writing the research paper, and thesis defense or final presentation, which is part of it, and submitting it for publishing. So these are the 5 steps, oversimplified, but that's what it is. Okay. Next up, the benefits of research program. So yeah, I mean, you can transform your child's learning and build their college profile this spring. You know, I get a lot of students in the junior year who are about to apply for their colleges, and I see a gaping hole, which is very, very hard to fix at that time. Right? You come to this, come almost to the senior year, and you don't have quality extracurricular activities. It's too late to sort of sign up for something because colleges are looking for consistency and a longer time commitment, right? So that's why it's super important to start research early, and yeah, so that's very, very important. Next, I'm just going to go over the benefits of research, of course. College applications. Research is the number one extracurricular activity. It helps to develop like deep learning, discipline and learning, critical thinking, and problem solving is very, very important. Yes, students learn skills in the four walls of their classroom, but research is something that like really cinches it with deep learning and like flexing their muscle called brain. And of course, they make um, students into subject matter experts and have an atypical opportunity to apply to colleges. Okay. So that's just one thing I want you to know is I've literally cracked the code to landing into highly selective colleges using research as an extracurricular activity. Okay, and yes, and my proven success strategy has worked. It's not just conducting research with a professor, it's about writing a research paper, right? And that's something that makes them stand apart because not all students do that. And today I had a 16-year-old in my neuroscience final presentation from fall who said that none of his classmates had really ventured into doing a research paper. And he was only 16 in like 10th grade. And he said he learned so much and he's so confident that he's going to land in very good colleges. It's helped him with discipline. It's helped him with managing AP courses as well, because this is deep learning. You're picking up a complex project here, a complex effort that's not part of your curriculum and trying to nail it, right? So that's how it is. Now to the research program pricing. And I know the biggest parental concern is paid research. Paid research has a negative impact on college admissions, right? So that's the biggest question that every parent has. Oh, won't college look at it negatively, or for that matter, hey, don't colleges prefer students having not paid for research, right? And that's not true. None of my students has it ever raised a red flag at all. In fact, students have gone through our program, have landed in very good colleges, and there is no lying or anything. We don't hide the fact that it's a paid program. We're not ashamed of it. I'm not going to ask you to lie, okay? And it's not easy to hire professors, right? You can do like hundreds and 200s of cold emails to tons of professors and not hear from them because they're not going to spend that amount of time with your high school student. They don't have that bandwidth. They're all very busy. They all have grants. They all have deliverables, and they're not going to be able to spend that amount of time that's really needed in producing a quality research paper. Okay, so that's what it is. And also, what colleges are looking for is quality and relevance, whether it's paid or unpaid. they are looking at the outcome which we are delivering, right? And also it shows demonstrated interest. It shows the colleges that, hey, you, even though you couldn't get an unpaid program, you went ahead and paid and put in that effort to gain knowledge. Okay, and it's very, very important to have a diverse extracurricular activity, right? You have a mix of paid and unpaid. You use this as a stepping stone to get into your next research program, which Shreya did, which all my students did. They used this as a launch pad to get into another program, right? That is what is there, and it makes you a well-rounded student. And you talk about the experience in the recommendations and essays, right? So that's how it is important. And I haven't seen a negative impact so far. Even in my counselor network, I pay thousands of dollars to be in so many of the networks for counselors, and in the grapevine, I've not heard negative things. In fact, there are so many programs that are way more expensive and add less value than us. You have the Summer Institute program that's $6,000, but you work with PhD students. And I'm going to tell you that research is not a research when you work with PhD students. Collegians, it charges you 2,500, but you work with a PhD candidate, right? Lumiere is very, very famous. Their programs are 2,600 up again with PhD candidates, right? But here we are providing you with a full university professor and an expert, and that's what sets us apart, and it's going to set your student apart, right? So our pricing, it's not 5,000. The investment, I call it an investment because you want scholarships, and they're just not going to come to you without having an exceptionally good profile. Got it? So yes, your investment is 2,200, a steal because you're getting a full professor and a creative writing expert. You're getting two professors, not just one, two professors, or you can pay multiple payments of 600. Okay. And yes, so all our programs start on February 11th, and you can go to giftedgabber.com to register. You will see. So this is our website. You will be able to see all the programs right there. Our research program. Okay, all our research programs are listed here. Neuroscience is the only one that will take you to a wait list because we're closed. The rest of the programs are these three programs. Sorry, one, two, three programs are available. Cybersecurity and business, we are still building them. Okay, so that is how you register to our program. And okay, so let's talk about the research guarantee that we're going to give you. So the completion, we are going to guarantee a completion of a 4,000 word research paper. That's our guarantee. We will make sure that your student gets that in the end result. Absolutely. Every student of ours will be finishing a research paper, and that is our guarantee. Okay, and some of the kind words, you can all see that on our website. If you see here, my biggest win starting with the research project was reaching the 4,000 word count, right? So that's what it is. And I want to show you an acceptance letter to Duke. I mean, that's the one that I have. So I might as well share to you. It says, I enjoyed reviewing your application, and the admissions committee was impressed by your innovative projects and research prowess. At Duke, you can continue innovating in makerspace. So you see that how they look at research as a top extracurricular activity. Okay, so any questions so far? Before I get to the bonuses, I just want to tell you that I have this bonus where it's just finding out what you really are looking for. And in return, you will get a list of places where you can submit the research papers. So here it is. If you submit it at the end, you will get this complete list of places to publish. You will get this as a download once you submit your application. Okay, so right here is where it is. Okay, Okay, so we got that done. Any questions? I'm going to finish off at the moment, and I want to know if you have any questions. I'll reach out to that. Okay, I do see. I'm going to unmute you. You can unmute yourself and ask any questions, but let me just first read the questions that are there already. It's Sonali. Are there any professors who are doing anything linguistics or computational linguistics or something related to the study of language and its intersection with technology? Yes, we do have. We are still trying to formulate it. We're still in the works, in the talks. Please submit your thing. I'm just going to add that question. Please submit this in the, hold on a minute. Yeah, please specify that. If you share with us, we will be able to get professors in that. We are already in talks with the linguistic professor. We'll let you know when it is. Sonali says, my kid is in 10th grade in IB curriculum. In 11th grade, they have to write a 4,000 word extended essay. Do you know if this research paper can be used towards the requirement to, like I said, it's a great question. It's again, it's done in the four walls of your classroom. It falls under the school curriculum. You cannot put it as an extracurricular activity. You get it? So that is one. And the research paper has to be written under the guidance and tutelage of an academic expert or a university professor in order for it to be published. Yes, it's a wonderful opportunity that you have in school that you can put in your application. No doubt about that. But it's not as comparable as having done research under an expert or a university professor. So that's the difference. Okay.
I think just to clarify that question, it was the other direction. If my son did the gifted Gabber research paper, could he then use that for that 11th grade theory of knowledge TOK 4,000 word paper? Like, do it once this year and then use it next year for that requirement.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry, I misread your question. Absolutely. This paper can be used to submit in school fairs. We also encourage them to put it in the Intel-Regeneron program. So it's there. They are the author. They are going to write an individual research paper, which is mentored by the professor. So absolutely, they can use it for their theory. Yeah, the IB club. Yes, great question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Please unmute yourself. I'd like to hear them. Yeah, go ahead. No other questions? You spent time here. Might as well ask what anything, or even college admissions. I'm a college counselor. Any question you have, you can ask me. It doesn't need to be like entirely related with research. My passion is college admission. If you have any questions about that, please go ahead and ask. Anything? No? Okay, I'm going to give back some time of your Sunday evening. If you don't have any questions, I just want to wish you well. Having learned from this program, please share the wealth of information to everyone else. We are into building an empathy empire. So I want to wish you well and take care now. Bye.
Just one last question. On the
Yes, please.
So on the linguistics professor that you mentioned, and you said there might be something coming up. Do you have a rough timeline? Is it spring? Will it be summer? When the linguistics thing will shape up?
It's not. We're still in the talking phase, in the negotiating phase. The thing is, we have a consultant who gets us a bunch of research contacts, and we have to send them cold emails. That's the first level. Then the next level is seeing if they have that aptitude to mentor high school students, right? It's also a behavioral thing where we want students to be empathetic and approachable, right? We've had problems in the last summer, where we got a research professor who was incredibly rude with students. So that is another psychological screening that we do. And after it goes through that, we work with them to build a curriculum And then their rates as well, right? Some of them outright will be very rude and say, "What are you kidding? This is not the price that I want." So it's at many levels, and we're getting there with our professors. I do have a couple of people, but I want to see how to deliver that, right? If I launch it as a group project, I need to have a minimum number of students to pay the professor, or is it going to be one-on-one? So there's a lot of logistics that happens before delivering it. So it's in that phase.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Aryan
Yeah.
is
Yes. Coach Joe, so one question on the job shadowing. So I heard, kids can do volunteering and internships. I had a question about job shadow. So how does that work? Say, for example, for say computer science, right? The students can work with, say, for example, a software engineer. They can just see what they do, like if you know somebody, and can you put that experience on your resume in the college application as an extracurricular activity if you do a job shadow or just learn from
okay.
somebody? It's not exactly a job
Great,
shadow.
great question. Now it's okay. Let me be very clear here.
Mm,
Uh, for my medical students, we do physician doctor shadowing. There are
mm,
differences. So the thing is, you're shadowing a doctor, but you
mm,
don't shadow a computer engineer. What, you're
mm,
going to stand next to him and see him typing a bunch of clicks on his computer? You don't do job shadowing. You literally sit and contribute. It's
mm,
internship. It's like a job.
mm,
Internship is a job. You get it?
mm,
So that is what we're trying to build. Our cybersecurity program that we launched in fall, we are offering internship. In the sense, since it's cybersecurity, we are teaching them how to conduct an audit in a real business. Okay, is there all their things secure, right? My Facebook account got hacked and somebody ran ads for $5,500. So
mm,
basically, we are creating a program. There are a bunch of 10 students who are part of the cybersecurity. And also, what happens in companies is they don't want to babysit a high school student.
mm,
So you need to understand the problems that are there. So what we are doing is we are training them because they are going to be employees who will contribute somehow.
mm,
Okay, so it is, you cannot say, "Oh, can you please take on my high school student?" So the high school
mm,
student should have either learned Python or some Java programming, or should be
mm,
able to contribute to that company in real time, right?
mm,
Okay, you can even go create a product demo. You can create materials for them, right? You can do marketing materials. You can do that
mm.
also. So I
So
have,
that's part of the internship, right? As
it
an
is an
intern, they would
internship.
be doing.
It is an
But job
internship.
shadowing is different, right? In job shadow, they don't do these things. They just watch somebody, like
Okay.
as you said.
Yeah, so what's the point in watching, right?
Yeah,
If it,
that is what I'm asking because they
no.
say, oh, internship, volunteering, job is job shadow.
Job shadowing is for medical, is for creating a medical profile. You shadow a doctor,
But not in any other profession.
not
Right? In
yes.
medicine, it will work, but not in any other
Yeah.
profession. Okay, got it.
Right. You sort of shadow a dentist,
Mm,
right? You shadow a pediatrician.
mm.
Okay, you stand and watch. But for a computer science, what shadowing will you do,
No,
right?
they can still learn, right? Say, for example, there could be SQL databases. They can see, okay, this
Okay,
is how the
so it's
database.
learning. It
Mm,
comes under learning.
mm,
Let me tell you what an extracurricular activity is. An extracurricular activity needs to have some outcome, some contribution.
mm.
Otherwise, it's like taking a course, right?
Yeah, but what if, say, for example, as part of that, they gives again in computer science context, somebody gives them a program to write. Say, for example, a student has a programming background, and then the person who are they working with, it could be a software engineer or computer scientist or whatever, data scientist, and they give a small problem, a small code, or small project so that the student works with that person,
Very
would
nice.
that count? Would that count as something to
Yes,
learn?
again,
Like a
again, we are
project, a
talking
small
about the
project.
same thing, but you don't call it job shadowing. It is
Yeah, but
not
can you
job
call it as
shadowing.
a project? Can you put it as a project that they did on their own?
Yes, again, let me tell you why I'm saying don't call it job shadowing,
Mhm.
because your terminology needs to meet with their college application, right? And
Mhm.
it has like 25 different categories, right? So you always need to think like that. Don't call it job shadowing. Call it internship.
Yeah, not internship, okay, or small project, right? Like they
Yes,
did
yes, yes.
project.
So if you
Mhm.
see here, this is the list of activity description that is there. It's either academic, art, athletics, career oriented. You call it career oriented. Don't say job shadowing.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
so the terminologies are different. We're talking about the same thing, but it needs to follow or needs to follow in that box that they can put in their college applications. So it's
Mhm.
career oriented. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Somebody is willing to take you in and give you a project. It's a
Mhm.
gold mine.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Because for internship, I think you need to have a stamp from a company saying, maybe XYZ, but with if somebody is offering a project, then you might not be associated with that company, but then with somebody. I mean, I don't know
See,
exactly.
see, if it is vague, if it has too many moving parts,
Mm,
if it's not clear, please drop it. Okay, let
mm,
me tell you why. Because if you put something very vague in your college application, the college
mm,
admission officer is going to call the high school counselor, not you.
mm,
Okay, so
mm,
please don't be into creating something that is going to raise red flags,
mm.
right? So
But
that
you
is
can, yeah, but you can work with somebody on a project,
absolutely.
right?
It's called career oriented. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. You can work, you get a project.
Mhm.
Yes, but make sure you get everything in written.
Okay.
After the project, you
Mhm.
you 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 get a certificate from
Mm,
that person, or even a letter saying how many hours you worked,
mm.
what was the description of the
The
project that they
project.
worked,
Mhm.
what did they contribute. Keep
Mm.
that letter and take it to
Okay.
the counselor and show it to them so that they
Okay.
know what it is, right?
Okay.
So in this world, everything has to be documented, everything has to be clear cut.
Mm,
Nothing needs to be vague,
mm,
or oh, I went to India and I did this project.
mm,
Can you verify that? You have to
mm,
look at it from a college admission, college standpoint, whether it's
mm,
genuine or whether
mm.
you
Right,
you,
right.
you are faking it, right?
Yep,
We
yep.
we
Mm,
don't, so please use your judgment,
mm,
right? If it's really it's a project, what are they going to learn, right? How much time, effort?
mm,
Absolutely, it's wonderful to have a project like that, certainly,
okay.
right? But
Mm,
make
okay.
sure you get everything written down, number of
Mm,
hours, get a recommendation letter from them, and everything.
mm. So that letter can be from that person, but not specifically like it doesn't have to be on the company letterhead,
It
right?
has
It
to
can
be on
be
the
from
company letterhead,
it
not,
has to be
yeah,
okay.
I mean, just use your judgment.
Mm,
Think of it from a college perspective,
mm-hmm,
right? Why would you get it from a personal letter? I had a student who said, "Oh, my aunt is a big scientist. I'm
mm,
just going to put her." I'm like, "That's nepotism. That's going to raise
mm,
red flags. I'm
mm,
not going to. I recommend not doing it."
okay.
Right?
Mm,
So it should not be from an individual. It has
mm,
to be from an organization, or it would be like you went and worked in his basement, which has no value,
mm.
right? Everything has to be documented and well done. So don't go for,
No, because I was reading somewhere and they were saying, oh yeah, this kid has lots of job shadow hours because his mom is a physician, right? So I was
okay, so
thinking in
again,
that context.
you see that that's a
Mm,
physician, that is
mm.
that is shadowing. They
But
call
is
it
that
shadowing.
okay? But is that okay then? If say, for example,
It's
I have a
shadowing. We call it shadowing,
yeah,
okay? Because you're shadowing a physician. It's a medical field. In the medical field, you shadow.
okay.
You get it? Because you're following that person. You see a lot of medical dramas. You see 5 people dressed up watching it.
Mm,
That is shadowing. But that
mm,
doesn't apply in the computer field. So you got it. Physicians, you're very lucky. Getting
mm,
a doctor's shadowing is so difficult. right? So it works there, but you're not shadowing
Not in the
somebody.
other profession.
And the doctor is going to give you a letter in their letterhead.
No, but what if the letter is from your mom? Like
Please
that will
stop.
not count, right? No, that will not
Please,
count.
no.
Yep. Because that is what the other somebody was saying. The other kid had a lot of job shadowing.
Job shadowing because the mom, let me tell
was
you,
a
the
physician.
mom got the kid opportunity with another doctor, not under the mom. Okay, please, there are nuances. Just don't go on it. That's nepotism. Please stay away from nepotism.
Yep. That is what I was not like. I was like, then anybody can do it like this. So I just wanted to check, like, can this something like this will work on a college application or not?
No, I mean, let me tell you, you're looking at a highly selective college, right? So you have to like up your game for that. You cannot think small. Stop thinking small. You got to broaden your horizon to like smash expectations.
Yeah, no, my kid is in a research program already. He has signed, he has done extra classes, he's doing youth apprenticeship from his school, right? So he'll be working with the like he'll be paid while
Okay, so has your child done research with a university professor or what
yes,
is
he will be doing it in the like second semester of 10th grade. So I was just like what I
with the
was
university professor in 10th grade? Is it part of
yeah,
his
he's doing a course. It's an additional course that is not being taught by school. So it's an additional it's a in what do you say? It's called as biotechnology in the world of medicine. So that's the first
Okay.
pre-course. And then in the 11th grade, they have 2 additional courses,
Okay.
which is
So
biotechnology, one in
it is
biotechnology.
administered by a university professor,
Yes,
and he's
yes.
going to write a research paper.
Not exactly a research paper, but something related to that. But I don't know exactly how many words does it qualify to be a
So
research
right.
paper.
So in order to publish a research paper, it's got to be 4,000 words.
Yeah, so that I don't know how many words will it be. It might
Okay.
not be in 10th grade, but maybe in 11th grade, but
Great.
it's something related to, working with the professor or in the research lab or something. So,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Please don't get read all these things and take shortcuts. Please.
Yeah, right. No, I was trying to see what people do, what
No,
people
and
do.
let me tell you, do something that other people don't do.
Yep,
For
yep.
colleges, that's what it is, right? If you see 1,000 people going into that activity, I would say veer away, run away from it, because all your profiles are going to look same, right?
Yep.
Okay, great question. Anyone else has
Thank you
any
so
questions?
much for asking.
Yeah, any other questions? Let me know. And I'll just take one question before I'm going to end it. Okay. So I want to wish you well. If you don't have any other questions, I'll let you guys go. Bye now.